Firouzja vs Andreikin, epic match highlights. Firouzja plays the black pieces in the next segment.
Scrambles with the increment. Is he taking over the initiative? 1 second. Oh, he blundered DE.
Oh my goodness. Knight
And
D4
rook
is
H5.
rook H5 is everything.
Oh, things are collapsing, but Alireza still has that C pawn, which he can try to convert in concrete counterplay. It's not over.
But G3's hanging.
G3.
What a mistake. Completely hanging. And I don't even know who's favored now. E6
Knight
is
takes
hanging.
C6. And Alireza trying to set up a mating net, but the king has G4. And the king can zigzag its way out of the checks, and it does. But it's still double-edged. Knight D4. Oh my gosh,
F5
what's
is
going on?
coming.
And mate threat!
Oh my goodness.
But rook C6, such a heads-up move.
King G6
Oh,
maybe.
he gave up his knight! But you can't take it.
Wow. This is very, very tricky stuff. I don't even know what's
Dmitri's
happening.
gonna lose. Rook C4. Dmitri's gonna lose this.
Ooh, that is a very, very good move to keep the rooks on.
What just happened? I'm
actually still processing.
I was seeing the moves, but I wasn't like understanding who was winning until the very end. And then I saw Firouzja won, and I'm like, okay, I think I knew who was winning.
Wow. Guys, that was a really big moment for Firouzja in this match because it actually did look like he was making a comeback, but then it just became time scramble mode, and it's really hard to just make judgments on like, oh yeah, but he was just winning here. He just had to make that one move. I'm sure they both had moments where they were completely winning.
And now let's rewind the last segment, this game where Alireza strikes back. What's amazing, that was a time scramble, and what is that exactly? That means that each player only have like maybe 1 second or 2 seconds to make a move. There's only 1 second increment, so you have to play. You have no time to reset. And in this kind of situation, Alireza, down to his last seconds, is amazing. And we're going to see exactly what happened. That was a very fast-paced action. So here, rook G3, defense G3. We can see the two rooks are ready to attack G3. So that's defensive. Alireza has the black pieces and play B6. Knight E5. So far, so good for white. C5 getting some counterplay. Change. And now, Knight E2. Knight E2, defense D4, defense G3. So Andreikin is no slouch. He's playing extremely well, even if he has a few seconds. And here he played rook H2 because he's defending G3 with a knight, and maybe he's gonna target H5. And here, Alireza takes only 5. That's a mistake. He was expecting F takes E5, Knight E4 attacks G3 with a complex game. But instead, Andreikin correctly played DE5, and Daniel Naroditsky says, oh, Alireza missed that. What does that mean he missed that? Well, Knight E4 played. Now, with D takes E5, we vacate the D4 square. So right away, 9D4 is played by white. The king retreats on check. And now guess what? E6 is attacked and H5 is attacked. So over here, Andreikin play rook H5. The king retreats, played very quickly by Firouzja because he's trying to defend E6. And this is a blunder. The first blunder of the game at this moment is rook H3. What white had to find is rook H7, and black cannot take on G3 because there's a pin against the king. At any rate, that's what makes this game so fun. Rook H3 played. Now, Firouzja very quickly takes on G3. And now what does he play here? C3. Why C3? Because he's trying to play and push his passed pawn, right? That's a crazy endgame. But the fun goes on. Check, rook C7. Andreikin correctly put the rooks here so that he stops the advance. Now the game goes on. Check. He gives another check. He gives another check. And now King h4. Finally, no more checks for black. Rook takes e3, knight d4, very nice move. And here, knight f2. Very tricky. I don't know if you caught that during the replay, but it's a very nasty threat. Rook h3, and boom, checkmate. But Andreikin fights back and gives a check. King h6, he gives another check. King h7. And now he can continue his plan because there's no longer checkmate. Because rook h3, well, the king escapes on g5. And here, f6 played, check, king g5. And Daniel Naroditsky is so strong. He is an excellent bullet player. And he says, well, black cannot take the knight. Why is that? Check, and e6. And you're promoting with white. If you were to do a few checks, that's okay. You give a few checks. And now king d5. With the rook here, you're controlling c3, e7, f7, and you win. So in this situation, even though the knight is hanging, black shouldn't take. And Alireza correctly play a check here. The king moves, now he takes. The king moves here, that's actually a mistake. Over here, Andreikin had to take that pawn here, attacking the knight, and he still has a big edge with his two pawns. But that's where, with the lack of time, instead of eliminating the danger, he plays king e6. Now there's a check, king e7. Now keep in mind, white is two pawns, two moves away from promoting here. That's a crazy scramble. Rook e4, e6, knight takes, rook takes. And over here, Aman Hambleton, the other GM, commenting with Dania, says, oh, that's a nice touch, c2. What does he mean by that? Well, let's replay it closely. If you exchange your rooks and play c2, white moves f7, you queen, white's queen, you give a check, and guess what? Even though black is up a pawn, that queen endgame is only a draw. So instead here, Alireza plays c2. He has 1 second on his clock, right? f7 played, and c1 queen, and white resign. Why is that? Well, white can still queen, and here you give a check, and on king f7, boom, you're winning like that. So that's the key moment. Queen e3 check, sorry, and if you move over here, same thing, you can take on f8, and you capture the rook. Now, that was absolutely crazy nuts, and on c1 queen, you could try to do rook takes e4 with white, but black take on e3, and then take on e4, and if you queen, boom, boom, and now simply e3. So I just wanted to demonstrate that that was happening so fast, so many tactics, and in here you don't take the knight on d4, and if we go to the game quickly, here you have to realize, don't exchange queen first, and you're gonna have that nasty check on a3, winning for black. And this moment was critical, and eventually Alireza was able to turn things around, reduce the deficit, and win the entire match by 1 game. So I would say that was a very high quality match, a lot of tactics, going so fast. This was the blitz portion, not even the bullet portions, but these players were extremely talented in the technical part of the game with seconds on the clock. I hope you enjoyed this recap. Feel free to give me comments, feedback, and I'll see you in the next one.